6 deaths in the drive-thru. They all follow the same pattern. One small mistake turns you into a sitting duck. Over the next 10 minutes, I'll break down the exact mechanism of death and the 3 survival moves to stop it before it starts. A drive-thru lane is essentially a chute. Car in front, car behind, walls on both sides. When things go wrong, you have 0 exit strategy. Case number 1, October 4th, 2018. Bronx, New York, Sylvester. Zottola, 71, is sitting in a McDonald's drive-thru, waiting for his order. There's a car in front, a car behind. And that is exactly why he couldn't run. A figure approaches, and Zottola is gunned down right in his driver's seat. In that moment, the drive-thru became the perfect kill box, held in place by the very line of traffic meant to serve him. This wasn't random. Federal prosecutors revealed it was a murder-for-hire plot over a family property empire. The mastermind was his own son. The defendants later received heavy sentences, including life in prison for organizing the hit. But if case number 1 required a villain with a plan, case number 2 is terrifying because it started with nothing but a standard argument. Note to self: if you have to stick your head out the window, engine off, parking brake on, gear and park first, and the aftermath most videos skip. After every tragedy comes the investigation, the blame game, and families who only receive justice in the form of cold legal paperwork. Keep that narrow chute image in your head. The next case proves that sometimes the killer isn't a hitman. It's just the rage sitting inside the car next to you. Case number 2, 2 a.m., Jacksonville, Florida. You're in the McDonald's drive-thru. Tired, hungry, just want to grab your food and go. But one wrong word, and this narrow chute turns into a cage match. Anthony Makowski is waiting in line. Another car cuts in. Words are exchanged. Then a 21-year-old man steps out, approaches, and applies a chokehold. If you think a headlock is just for sending a message, here is the forensic reality. It's a game with oxygen. When the neck is compressed, the airway can be blocked. Simultaneously, pressure on the carotid arteries starves the brain of oxygen almost instantly. If that grip holds, the victim can go unconscious in seconds, and the heart can stop shortly after. Bystanders rush in to break it up. Someone starts CPR. Anthony is rushed to the hospital, but he doesn't make it. Now, here's the part that infuriated the family. There was CCTV footage, but prosecutors ultimately declined to file criminal charges, citing self-defense. All that remained was a civil lawsuit. Just another way to ask for answers when the criminal justice system stops. Note to self: in a drive-thru, you aren't just trapped between cars. You're trapped next to someone else's emotions. Case number 3 is even more absurd. Sometimes the thing that kills you is just bending over to pick up a credit card. Note to self: in a drive-thru, never get out to settle it. Lock the doors, keep distance, leave the line if tempers flare. And the aftermath most videos skip. After every tragedy comes the investigation, the blame game, and families who only receive justice in the form of cold legal paperwork. Keep that feeling of being trapped in the chute. In case number 3, we don't need an aggressor. Just one wrong move and your own car turns you into the victim. Case number 3. Anthony Tony Isles, 42. Elevator mechanic, father of 2. And the thing that took his life wasn't a criminal, wasn't a gun, wasn't even a high-speed crash. It was a debit card. Tony pulls into a McDonald's drive-thru. At the payment window, his card slips, landing just out of reach. You know the feeling. I'll just lean down and grab it for 1 second. But a drive-thru isn't your living room. It's a narrow corridor, hugging the curb and the wall. Reports state that as Tony tried to reach out or shift from the driver's seat to retrieve the card, the vehicle moved. When a car moves in a confined space, you create what forensics calls a crush zone, the zero-tolerance gap between the chassis and the wall. The cruelest part? This type of accident is silent. No loud crash, just pressure, lack of air, and time ticking away while people panic and call 911. Investigatively, this was recorded as a tragic accident. There is no public record of criminal foul play. And the family is left with one haunting thought. If only he had stopped for 2 seconds. Note to self, if you drop something in a drive-thru, don't make it a mission. Shift to park. Pull the e-brake. Only then do you open the door to get it. And if case number 3 was a card, case number 4 is even scarier, just one slip of the foot. Note to self, your right foot has one job: brake first, gas later. If you panic, mashing the brake won't kill you, mashing the wrong pedal will. And the aftermath most videos skip. After every tragedy comes the investigation, the blame game, and families who only receive justice in the form of cold legal paperwork. Keep this thought. In a narrow space, the car is stronger than you. In case number 4, one wrong stomp, and it's over before you can even process what happened. Case number 4, Richard Lowry. A man visiting a drive-thru just like any other day. But the bitter tragedy is, it was his last birthday. No bad guys, no high speed. Just a mistake that many of us have almost made, hitting the gas instead of the brake. In a drive-thru, you are in a narrow corridor, car or window in front, curbs, walls, pillars, or people on the sides. When your foot slips, the car surges, and you have exactly 1 to 2 seconds to correct it before surge becomes crush. The lethal factor is the panic reflex. The more you panic, the harder you stomp. And if your foot is on the wrong pedal, that force becomes acceleration. In a space of just a few feet is enough to generate crushing force you cannot fight. Regarding the investigation, these cases are typically recorded as accidents due to operator error. There is no public information regarding criminal charges linked directly to the pedal slip in this scenario. New fear unlocked, but also a note to self. If your car surges in a drive-thru, don't try to gas it out. Slam the brake. Shift to park, just stop. And case number 5 is heavier because it's not 1 second of panic. It's time ticking away inside a heating car. Note to self, don't lean out of the car in a blind spot. If you can't reach, stop fully, open the door, step out safely. And the aftermath most videos skip. After every tragedy comes the investigation, the blame game, and families who only receive justice in the form of cold legal paperwork. Keep this in mind. The drive-thru gives you no room to correct a mistake. In case number 5, the trap isn't a few feet of concrete, it's the temperature inside a car rising by the minute. Case number 5. Kendrick Engram Jr., 3 years old. Columbus, Georgia. A Sunday that the family thought was normal. Church, food, then home. No one thought a small oversight would last nearly 3 hours. The timeline is cold. Around 5:30 p.m., the family gets home. Everyone goes inside, but Kendrick stays in the vehicle. It wasn't until around 8:15 p.m. that his grandmother did a head count and realized he was missing. At that exact moment, his uncle borrowed the car to drive to Wendy's. He gets the call, checks the back, and finds Kendrick unresponsive. EMS is called, but the child is pronounced dead that evening. Investigators estimated Kendrick had been in the car for about 2 hours and 45 minutes. The outside temperature that day hit 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Here is the forensic fact you need to remember. Children overheat faster than adults. Their bodies don't regulate heat as well. When the car is sealed, heat accumulates, dehydration sets in, core temp rises, until heat stroke hits. You don't hear a crash because the killer here is simply time. Legally, at the time, police stated it was unclear if any charges would be filed in this case. And I know, this is the case that makes everyone think I could never forget. But it happens because the adult brain runs on autopilot. At the end of this video, in the 3 survival moves, I'll give you move number 2 to break that autopilot. A simple hack that can save a life. Now to case number 6. No time needed, no forgetting, just the act of reaching for food can turn a drive-thru into a trap. Note to self, before leaving the car, even for 30 seconds, look at the back seat. Put your phone or wallet in the back to force yourself to check. And the aftermath most videos skip. After every tragedy comes the investigation, the blame game, and families who only receive justice in the form of cold legal paperwork. If case number 5 was a time trap, case number 6 is a space trap. Lean the wrong way, and the car and the wall will do the rest. Case number 6. Anna Stubblefield, 21. A moment everyone has experienced. Leaning out to grab a bag at the pickup window. And here is what the drive-thru hides from you. When you open the door or lean out, your body is no longer in the safety zone of the driver's seat. If the car moves even an inch because a foot grazed a pedal, the car rolled, or your position shifted, you can be pinned between the chassis and the wall. That is the crush zone in its most brutal form. High pressure, tiny gap, zero leverage to fight back. Investigatively, these cases are often recorded as accidents in confined spaces. And the tragic irony is, it starts with the simple act of grabbing food quickly. Now, here is where this video gets different. We don't just tell stories, we distill them into the drive-thru survival framework. 3 survival moves. Move 1, the shoot mindset. Treat the drive-thru like a trap. If there's tension, crowding, or someone approaching, keep distance from the car ahead, plan an escape route, and prioritize leaving the line over being right. Move 2, the backseat signal. Place an item you absolutely need in the backseat every trip. Left shoe, wallet, house keys. The goal: never end a drive without being forced to look at the back row. Move 3, the park first rule. Before opening a door, reaching out, grabbing a dropped card, or taking a bag, shift to park plus pull e-brake plus foot off pedal. If you can't do those 3 things in 2 seconds, don't reach. New fear unlocked, but at least now you have a 3-line code to avoid it. If you only remember one thing from this video, make it those 3 moves. And now I have one question for you before we finish. So, ultimately, what is a drive-thru? It isn't just a place to grab dinner, it is a narrow chute. Bumper to bumper, no escape, where just 2 to 3 seconds of lost control means no coming back. And that's why I made this video differently. Not just to recount 6 tragedies, but to make sure you leave with a survival framework you can use today. Remember the 3 moves. If things get weird, park, e-brake, foot off, then assess. The back seat. Create a forced signal so you never forget someone is there. Reaching out. Never lean until the car's locked down. Stop, lock, then grab. If you found this useful, hit like so I know you want more of these survival frameworks. And comment below, which case stopped you in your tracks, and which survival move are you applying starting today?